Right next to your log.
Oh, okay. Hi, y'all. You fix that so you'll be in it. How is everybody today? It's kind of crappy here today. We got a little bit of rain, and I don't think it's supposed to be a whole lot, but yeah, it's enough that we're inside today. We're out in Illinois, and but he can't decide what he wants first. It keeps dropping his chewy. So let me find y'all. Goodness, I know we're probably better off than what you guys are. Up north, I know you're having a time with the weather, and like it warmed up here, and we had that little cold spell, and then it warmed up, and now after this storm goes through, then it's supposed to be chilly today. Tomorrow, I think the temperature is going to be in the 60s, which that's a little chillier. It's like 78 right now outside, but it's bringing in that rain's bringing in the cold front, which it's winter. We can expect it. Just didn't expect it. Like I said, we didn't expect it to start as soon as it did. I mean, winter started really quick here in November, and we don't normally get those kind of temperatures in November, but it is now December. And so you love my little fireplace. Linda and Judy brought that last week, and it's really, really cute. And I thought it'd be a nice little backdrop. And I'm sorry that I didn't make it last week, but I had some Mohs surgery. If y'all know what that is, it's some surgery to take some skin cancers off, and not that I'm so vain that I wouldn't have that it would have mattered, but they were kind of still juicy, and I didn't think I was very camera worthy. So thank you to Kevin and Judy and Linda. But I had asked Kevin if he would take over for me, and he did a really good job. And then Judy and Linda come by to see how I was doing, and didn't know I wasn't here. I took Buddy to the dog park. So can you hear me now? I mean, can y'all hear me pretty good? Let's see what everybody has to say. I'm not paying attention, am I? Yes, there was a nice crack of thunder. And hey, Mark Ryan, Elizabeth. She says they got snow this morning in Ohio. Oh, that's Jerry. Well, like I said, it's crappy here, but we ain't got snow. So that's the good thing. Create Sunshine, how are you doing? Kevin K says, hello from the chilly fort. 15 below, wind chill tonight. Oh, my goodness, Kevin. What are you doing up there? Hey, Marcia. And Elizabeth says, greetings to all. Jerry Bell says, you better turn up the heat on your fireplace. Yeah. Isn't it cute, though? I mean, it's really, it's not, it doesn't really have a whole lot of heat to it. It's basically for show, but I thought it was really, really cute. And I was thinking about, when we used to put up the Christmas tree, and Skip had a train set, a little model train set that he put around the tree, and I think that would have been really cute with that. I said we don't do all that stuff anymore. Like I said, the kids aren't here, and so we don't do all that stuff. But it's still it's still Christmas season, and there you go. Yeah. Here it is, right here. And Kevin says, hey y'all, from rainy, gloomy Rhode Island. Well, Kevin, it was your choice to go there, and I know you're not going to be long, but enjoy it while you can. And I said, we'll still be here, and it'll be warmer when you get back, probably.
You're not going to eat that up there.
Yeah, he stays up there, so. Hey, Elizabeth. It says currently 32 in Chicago. Wow. Well, I'm glad I'm not there. And Mark says we're sounding great, so thank you. I always forget there at the start to make sure that I've got some sound, because we've had a few times when we didn't. Craig Vernon says, here you fine. It's snowing in Cleveland. Oh, honey, I don't I'm glad I'm not in Cleveland. That's all I could say. And yes, Buddy is so darn cute, but he's
Come here, get here.
he can't decide whether he wants his chewy up here on my lap or if he wants it down there. So.
And no, I'm not grabbing him by the fur. He's got a handle, believe that or not. On that collar, there's a handle.
And yeah, Elaine, that is.
That's
I
what
said,
he wanted. So you can't eat this up here.
He keeps
See?
rubbing it. My lap ain't that big, sweetheart. There you go. And Elaine says she loves the fireplace just enough to take the chill off. It is. I mean, it's not. It's just for show. It doesn't really give out heat, but just the fact that it's plugged in, it's electric. It does have a little bit of heat coming off of it right here next to me. Yeah, not a whole lot. Let's see.
One reason why we're out here, did you tell them?
Yeah.
It's not cold outside.
They can hear the thunder.
It's really comfortable. It's like, I don't know, low to mid 70s, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it's really, I don't think, I can't show you really, but it's really dark and it's been raining and
kind of gloomy.
And I'm just afraid I'll be out front. We could actually sit out front in the rain, but I'm always worried about them gusts of winds that they have around here.
Yeah, and they aren't predicting it today. Not very much rain, but they are predicted some gusty winds. And Mr. Rizzo said they got a round of golf in this morning. Well, that's cool. Yeah, this morning wasn't too bad. I thought the rain was going to hit about 9:30, and then it'd be out of here by now. But actually, it rained a little bit earlier. But then
I was up so early today. I actually picked the paper up in the driveway.
Yeah, I come back and I thought I seen the paper in the driveway, and surely nobody stole it. And I come in and Skip and picked it up. When I took Buddy for a walk, I don't pick it up.
Wouldn't be the first time people stole newspapers here.
Well, yeah, but
Jose had a neighbor, and apparently she didn't know he had what do you call it, doorbell.
Yeah, he's got one of those Ring doorbells.
Things.
Yeah.
And he said his newspaper kept disappearing. So one day he, I guess, went to the phone and he saw this car and a person getting out of the car, but he really couldn't recognize the person. So the next morning he waited up, or he got up early. And the same person came around in the car, parked in front of his house to go steal that newspaper. He went outside with his camera, chased him back in the car, got the license plate number, and then called the police to find out it was one of his neighbors that lives in that neighborhood stealing his paper.
Yeah. And no, Marcia Buddy doesn't have a Christmas stocking. He's got Christmas pajamas, believe it or not, because we've got some neighbors down the street here. Their backyard faces Hillsborough. The street, and they have a huge Christmas display out there. And on Fridays and Saturdays, it's going to be Mr. and Mrs. Claus out there. And I think they give out candy canes and stuff like that. And they told me I could bring Buddy and get his picture taken with Santa Claus, which I've done that with every dog I've ever had, I think. And I was wondering about this year, because usually the pet groomers, they have where you can get pictures of Santa Claus. But anyhow, the neighbors offered, they love Buddy, and they've got a little female Shih Tzu named Avie, and Buddy loves Avie. And so
Buddy loves everybody.
Yeah, so they would have.
I didn't realize the neighbor back here was here yet. She comes and goes, usually here on the winter though. So Sue's out here watering flowers or doing something. I took Buddy for a walk. He comes back here in the backyard. Next thing I know, he's wanting to dart through the bushes. Well, the lady was standing over there, and Buddy knows her, so
yeah,
he went over there.
Yeah, has a good time. But yeah, we're going to get his picture taken with Santa Claus this year. Hey, Joanne and Laura says hello from Chicago, 28 degrees. Yeah, it's that time of year up there. I'm glad I'm here.
Copy B to 603.
Yeah. It's a...
yeah, I was working on the thank you thing for the Patreon members and YouTube members, I do on the end of the videos. And I was surprised to find out a couple of the old-time members are gone. According to Patreon anyway, they're gone. So I had to take her name off. And then, of course, I see a lot of the names have been there for a long time, and Kathy B in the 603 has been a member for a long time.
Yeah, we have a lot of them that's been here for a good while.
So Jerry Bell,
Kevin,
William Rizzo, they're all members.
Yeah. Popeye said you need to switch places. I'm used to seeing Sue on the left. Yeah, we have a little we had the outside thing in that we had the iPad on this time instead of the one on the table. And I kind of didn't want a lot of close up. You know what I mean?
He's better getting a haircut. I wish he could.
He's going to.
I'm telling you, the groomers don't want to do it. She keeps saying it, but I'm telling you, the groomers told us last time it was going to be extra just to give him a bath. That's how bad he is.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Kathy. I remember you saying you was living in Hillsborough, but I think, aren't you down by Cosmos, down in that area?
Who?
Kathy Plum. She lives in Hillsborough. Let's see. Vicki Jones says hello from Chilly
Is
Rainy.
that the one that bought I think Courtyardville up there by the gate?
I think so.
You come in the gate and it goes to the right there?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but I think so. But somebody did, I know.
It's a great area. My only problem with that area, if I have to nitpick, and I always do, is getting out of there and turning left. Because everybody's coming in the gate, you got the golf cart path coming in right there, and then here you are trying to turn left when everybody's going right.
Yeah. Well, I said the smart people go on that first road.
Can you go around and come out on the other road?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's the way when I walk. I walk around that way. Vicki Jones says hello from Chilly Rainy, PA. Just back from our visit to the villages last week, and it was chilly there, but still much better than PA. Really enjoyed the tree lighting festivals. Aren't those cool? They don't do them quite as much as the way they used to do them. Used to they had a candlelight procession before they lighted the tree, and I don't know why they don't anymore, whether it's too expensive or whether it was dangerous or what, but that was really, I don't know, it was made it kind of a religious ceremony that way. They turned all the lights out and everybody had their own candle, and they lit all their candles, and then they turned the tree on.
Who bought the candles?
Well, I don't know. You know, I don't remember.
Maybe they just didn't have the money this year to do it. That's gotta cost them a few bucks, man. They probably gave out, I don't know, well over 1,000 candles.
Oh yeah, there was over 1,000 people there, yeah. And unfortunately, because I wasn't able to go this year, but I really would have liked to. But I know that they just don't do, the same as what they used to. But I've still heard that they have wonderful tree lighting ceremonies. And I've seen a lot of them on YouTube. A lot of people posted the videos and what have you, and it's really, really cool. And I said, I'm hoping next year I can get to one. So if I can stay healthy long enough. Let's see. Oh, Kathy B in the 603 says, happy holidays to you and your family. Well, thank you, Kathy. It's, like I said, we don't get too crazy about decorating here anymore because I said that the family don't come and it's just us. So other than the stuff I don't put in the attic, I have tablecloths and that kind of stuff. I don't put that in the attic. So there's two.
We got Christmas lights.
Well, yeah, but we have these Christmas lights out here. I don't
you guys probably can't see them, but they go around. The icicle lights.
I don't think they can see them, can they?
No, but the thing is, they're here all year round. I never take them down.
Yeah, and I said, and it's not, they're really pretty in the dark, and it's not dark out, but it's kind of darkish. And I've got the overhead lights on too, so.
It's just enough light that if you had company over for a glass of wine or something out here, it just gives you enough light to talk and everything without glaring in your eyes.
Yeah, and I said, I think, you and Tom did a video or two out here at night with the lights on when I had the bar out here. It looked really cute. So.
That's what every man wants to hear. My lanai's cute.
It had a bar.
Had a bar. It was cute.
Oh, Tyler says, hi, Skip and Sue. Cloudy and rainy down in Middleton. Yeah, same here, Tyler. But, and I was going to ask you, I didn't see anywhere in the paper about the tree lighting at Middleton until I seen it in the paper the next day. And so I felt bad because I didn't tell people about that tree lighting because I really didn't know about it. And I was kind of curious as whether I missed it or whether they just didn't advertise it in the Daily Sun or what was going on there. It didn't make sense to me that they didn't.
They might not have wanted that to get out.
Well, I don't know
So
why.
they're still building down there, and if you know how tree lighting is, 10,000 people shows up from the towns down there. Then
Yes.
it'd be roaming around construction zones and everything else. That's a liability issue, and so
Yeah.
they may not have, but I'm just wondering, did they let the people that's living in Middleton now, did they let them know?
Yeah, they said they had quite a
How
few
did
there.
they let them know?
I don't know. Now, Jose said that Maria knew, so I don't know how she found out, probably from work. But like I said, I never did see it in the paper.
Emails?
I guess I could have just.
When you buy a house nowadays, do they get your email?
Yeah.
I know when we bought our house, they took your phone number, but I don't know if they take emails.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I said, some people knew about it. So
listen, things change. Things always change here. The way I bought our house is different the way they sell them now. So there's no one answer to any question that you may ask. You're going to ask me about something. Here's one. What's the best village to live in? There is no answer to that question. The best village to live in is the one you're living in.
Yeah, everybody likes their own, basically. Rich A says, hi from rainy, 61 degrees, Warminster, Pennsylvania. Yeah, and I said, I feel for you. I do. Like I said, it's warm here. It's just, like I said, rainy and windy. So kind of a pukey looking day, but and tomorrow will be.
Tyler said the same thing. He says, I don't think they wanted to advertise it because they're still building down there and there's only a couple of food trucks. That's true and not true.
Oh, okay.
How far is Boosters from downtown Middleton? It's not that far, is it?
I don't know.
The way Jose took me, I couldn't tell you. I had no idea.
Did y'all see that video? Wasn't it cute?
God, it took forever to get down there.
But he was showing you the sights because you don't get out that much.
I was hungry. I kept saying, well, can we eat first and then you can show me the stuff on the way back?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes, Wrestler. I'm staying warm next to the fireplace. Isn't that cute?
What's Wrestler doing on here? He sent me an email a while ago saying he wasn't going to be on it because he was sick.
Oh, well, I said maybe he's not feeling too bad and he may not stay the whole time. So, but. That's
what she said.
And Wrestler says it's raining here and near Hershey also. So I bet it's a lot warmer here. Yeah. And let's see.
Tyler said Boosters around the corner from the tree lighting. Yeah, see, so they got a place to eat.
Well,
I've been to Boosters, but when you take the outside seating and the inside seating, they can seat a lot. I don't think they can accompany 1,000 people.
He said they advertise it to residents via email and also villages employees because they are marketing to them to buy houses. Yes. Well, that makes sense. I just, I thought maybe I'd missed it. But, they had a whole page for the other three. And so I just, it was kind of a mystery to me, but that makes sense. Yeah.
Bill says hi from the wet Long Island.
Okay. And
one of our buddies from New York.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Tyler says Boosters is around the corner. So, yeah. And I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. And Bill says, hi, Kip and Sue. Bill from a wet Long Island. So they just poured foundation on our new designer home in the village of Well Point. Amazing how much they have done in the last week. We'll be closing in February.
Oh, they crank these houses out here like a factory cranks out half of cars.
Yeah. And, I used to think that was a bad thing because if they were doing that up north, I'd be very suspect of how well the carpentry was.
No more.
But not here because they bring in a 30-man crew and they knock it out. And there's not the developer, the construction chief goes in and does some inspections and what have you, and then you do your own inspection and turn it in, that kind of thing. But yeah, I was just surprised at how fast they did them and did them well. And some people had some issues.
One of the things that they do here that where we lived in Indiana, they didn't do that. When they hired a contractor, let's say to build a house, that contractor built the whole house. They installed the cabinets. They may not have built the cabinet, but they installed the cabinets. They did all that. Unless it was custom home, and then that's where I worked, you could actually order custom built cabinets, and we built them to your specifications, and we installed them. We wouldn't allow nobody else to install them. So, but here, it seems to be the factory came here. We didn't go to the factory. There's a crew of cement people, and this is all they do. They put down the slabs for each home in each lot. and they leave. A few days later, after it all sets up, then there's a crew of people that come down here. Either would be the framers of the home, wood frame, or it'll be the block people that comes in for a block home. And anyway, they set up the walls. And is it going to rain?
It's raining now.
I thought I could hear something.
Yeah.
So anyway, they all come in and they put up then they're done. They're gone. They leave. Then the electric will come in, and then or the plumbing will come in. I don't know exactly the rate in which they come in, which comes in first, second, third, and fourth. But I mean, they all come in, and then the last crew that comes in, I think, is the painters. Once the plaster's done and the floors, no, not the floors. Then they come in and they paint. They spray paint everything in the house. It's all sprayed, ceiling and all. Once that's done, then I think the last people to come in are the carpet people and the tile people and the flooring people, and then the finish people come in and put the baseboard in. And once they walk out the door, basically the house is done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rustler, he does.
What was that?
That was his Chewy. He dropped it.
God.
Yes, Rustler, he has skipped trade. Did you see the super sticker from Kathy B?
I don't even know where it went. I don't even see it.
It's right under your chair right there. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that or not. Right there.
What?
1999, Kathy B in the 603.
Oh, super chat?
It says, happy holidays to you and your family.
Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're a member. You don't have to give me no super chats. You know that. But we appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll use it to buy Buddy more bones.
Yeah. Oh, and Cindy G says it's snowing and raining in Pittsburgh. Wow. Well, we have the best of both worlds here. I mean, we do get a little cold weather. We get some rain. We don't have to shovel snow, thank goodness.
I think on the average, our winter here, which could be, 3 or 4 months of winter actually, November's really not. It's pretty nice in November.
This year it was, though. That was odd.
Well, this is an odd year.
Yeah.
But on an average, say December, January, end of February is our spring. So we only have like 2 months of winter, and out of that 2 months, there's maybe on average of say 10 to 15 days of cool weather.
Yeah.
I call cool, but we had the first year we lived here, it got down to like 20 degrees about 2 nights in a row, and it killed some of the plants that we planted out front. So
it happens every 3 or 4 years.
But we don't worry about it because we just sit inside the house. We get caught up on stuff we want to do in here, like watch some TV shows we haven't seen for a while, or whatever the case may be, because tomorrow we'll be back up to 70 and we're back outside again. So it's not a big deal.
Okay, great.
Because we know we're not getting an ice storm.
Yeah.
We know we're not getting a snowstorm.
Yeah.
So we don't worry about it.
Craig Burden says there's still a lot of houses for sale in DeLuna. So that flooding thing is still a thing.
Well, I reported that, and I had a lot of people from DeLuna send me emails saying they have had no problem at all with flooding down there. They didn't know what I was talking about. And I get so many emails telling me, listen, I don't make this stuff up. I'm just reading you what's in the paper. And if it's in the paper, I take it for true. And so now this person is confirming that what was in the paper and what I reported was exactly true. There's a flooding issue down there. But I'm sure they'll address it. They'll get it taken care of. If the developer doesn't fall in line with it, and he may not, if your stuff has been sold back to your district by the developer, and that happens, once that happens, he's done. Get him to do it now, because once you guys take it over, and then that becomes an issue, you got to pay for it. It'll come out of your district, what we call a maintenance fee. And
I think, too, DeLuna is very close to the outside, and they're very close to the interstate. And so I think that has some people pausing a little while about buying anything there. Well, not all of it, just parts of it.
One of the cops here in Wildwood, that's Wildwood territory, told me that because of the robberies, car break-ins that was over here not too long ago, they think it was from the Orlando area because it's so close to the interstate to escape. And they patrol that area over there, I think, pretty regular. You may not see them, but they're over there. But that could be just that could be a one-time thing. I mean, you don't know really. Time will tell. Yeah. But, okay, Tyler says he'll be going to school for my real estate license next week.
decided to go with MLS instead of the Village's sales team because I wanted to brand myself, make YouTube videos, etc. I think that's probably wise, Tyler, especially as young as you are. Getting out and doing that kind of thing, you have to get some experience under your belt. We had one of our neighbors here, their son, we helped him out when he got started in the real estate business, and I said he really there was some things that just had to be finessed. He had all his learning, he knew the particulars, but some things about treating customers and things like that. I said he needed a little bit of help with that, and then he finally, after he got a really good start on his own, and then he went with one of the large real estate companies, and he's been gangbusters ever since. No, so good luck to you.
As a real estate person, that's what you got to decide. If you want to sell any brand new homes, which is where a big market's at, you have to be a VLS. You can't do anything else. But if you want to sell pre-owned homes, then you go MLS. But you can't sell brand new homes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I'm not in real estate, but to me, I don't know what I would do either.
Yeah.
I will tell you what I do know, though. The Villages keeps a tight rein on their real estate people. So they're going to tell you, you can't video this, you can't video that, you can't disclose this, you got to sign a non-disclosure agreement, you got to do all this stuff. Now, I don't know on MLS if they require that or not. I don't think so. I think you can video the homes that you're wanting to sell, things like that. But know the real estate company, because they might have a company that professionally videos the homes that they sell to put on their website, and they may forbid you.
Almost.
they may forbid you to video them on your YouTube channel. So just check all that stuff out. But good luck.
Yeah. It's I think it's a good area to get into, especially in Florida. And I keep seeing these notices online and in the paper, what have you, about people moving out of Florida and real estate in certain areas is going down and what have you. But we haven't seen that. I mean, it is slowing down a bit, but it always does this time of year.
You got to remember about YouTube. 50%, I'm going to tell you right now, 50% of the people that want to report stuff about the Villages don't live here, never been here, and it's clickbait.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. The top 10 things that I hate about the Villages. Clickbait. The 5 best neighborhoods to move into. Clickbait. Because there's no such thing, really. Now, will you be quiet? So there are things here that I don't care about. You know, everybody's got them. I wouldn't say, the only reason why you say the top 10 things I hate, the word hate, clickbait. And that's one of the things that I did to try that out to see if it would actually work. And it does work. I don't agree with it, but it does work. And yes, I did do it. So anyway, there's really nothing here to hate, I don't think. No. If I say I had to hate something around here, to me, the biggest pain in the ass of anything around here, it has to be that bond. When you go to make your property taxes, and it seems like your taxes are so high, for us anyway, it seems like they're so high compared to what we paid in Indiana. And then I have to realize, well, like $2,100 or $2,200 of that's the bond.
Yeah, and he said the Villages has a 2-year non-compete agreement, and yeah, that's true. And I think with the MLS, you get a little bit more experience in the outside listings. You know, I mean, the LS is for the Villages, but the MLS, like I said, you get more outside listings, in which it doesn't hurt to get familiar with the outside area.
Popeye, clickbait, swingers in the Villages.
Yes.
And another one's the STD thing. You know, that's still going around. That clickbait there has lasted for 20 years. Yeah.
And I said, and usually everybody knew, tries to put at least one video out about that, just to see how many people that they can raise.
Yeah.
And Skip just got in a fight with some lady in Mississippi, was in Biloxi.
Never been here, and she told me I didn't know what I was talking about.
She read everything on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's, you know, it's a big deal, and not saying there ain't a few screwballs around here.
Oh, that's another one. Tyler's bringing up, he's been watching for a while. Loofahs. Clickbait, loofahs.
Oh, yeah, loofahs, scrunchies, you name it. And I said, usually there's...
Wasn't there a thing about sneakers at one time?
Oh, yeah, gold sneakers.
Gold sneakers, or a silver sneaker, or a blue sneaker. I don't know the colors.
Yeah. the scrunchies and the sneakers, and yeah, there's always something going on. It's funny because if you go to the video pages that the young people use, because they're not any of them on here, but normally the ones that the young people use, and they talk back and forth. I don't know all
TikTok?
the names of it. No, there's
I've
TikTok's
got
old.
a TikTok.
Well, TikTok's old now. They're always doing something new. And then, like I said, they talk back and forth about all that stuff and laugh.
On TikTok, I'm always putting on there, I hate communist China. I think the ruler of China should be shot.
Oh, well.
Because China owns half of it.
That's silly.
So I'm always putting that on there. Yeah. They kicked me off once.
Elizabeth Chamberlain says, my sister is looking to rent in the Villages for the winter months sometime in the future. What is the website for rentals?
The Villagers Homes for rent.com. That's the one I'd recommend, because the only people that can rent a home on that website has to be the owner of the home. You're not allowed to use a real estate company or a property management company.
In which we've seen some problems with that. There was a home next door to us that was through a rental company, and they rent to anybody.
Yeah.
And and the people that owned the house got scammed out of their money. So
not only that, we've had people tell us, but we don't even know who they are. They just come up and talk to us and say, boys, I wish I hadn't got this rental company or whatever, because I come down here for the month of May, because we never rented out for the month of May, just to find out there's people in my house.
Yeah.
And when they called the rental company, they played dumb to the whole thing. Oh, we didn't know that. Yeah. Well, they're the ones that rent the house out.
So the Villagers Home for rent, you're doing the renting. The people get in contact with you, not a rental agent. Yeah, you went down.
Yeah, there'll be a phone number on there and emails on there. I rented my first house out on, it was a different website then. Quiet.
Yeah.
But it's the same one, just a different name. They had to change the name for some reason, I forget. But Villages Homes with an S on there, which is the number, rent.com.
Is it Villages or Villagers?
It might be Villagers, now that I think about it. That's right, because the first was the Villages Homes for Rent. This is Villagers, E-R-S, Villagers Homes for Rent.com.
Okay. But there are several of them out there. And there's a couple houses here in the neighborhood that are rented out by...
Here, Jerry's got it on there right there. He got it on the chat. All you got to do is click on that link right there. I'll take you right to it.
There's a couple homes here that are rented out by realty executives. They're rented out by real estate agents. And I said, Denise says, is it true people in the Villages are selling their houses because of the high house insurance? This is hi to both of you.
I haven't heard that.
No, I don't know of anybody that's done it because of...
I'll tell you what that sounds like to me. It sounds like you've been watching somebody's YouTube channel, and that's clickbait. That's what that is. It's fear click. Hey, did you hear about the property taxes? They're really going to go high next year. These people don't know nothing. They can't read the future. They don't know anything. So I tell you, know what you're watching, because most of these people are telling you stuff that is unfounded. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but it's unfounded. And I've heard nothing about people moving out of the Villages because of the
high
cost
insurance.
of home insurance or anything like that.
I mean, there's multiple reasons why they move, but the biggest share of it is they just get too old and have to move somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, they get to the point where their health is bad and they want to go back home because they got a daughter that lives up there. They can help them out because they don't want to go to assisted living. Yes. I hear that a lot. Somebody passes away. We had a neighbor that happened to us. Somebody passes away. They decided, I don't want to live here by myself, so I'm going to go back up where those are the excuses that I hear. I'm sure there's other reasons that people move out. I watched somebody's channel somewhere, and I forget what it was, saying that there was more people, a massive massive exhortation. No, that's not the right word. Where people leave.
Okay, evacuation.
No, a massive exit of Florida. I'll just use that word because of what the heck was it? Because of
hurricanes.
No, I can't remember. Because of house prices, maybe, or something like that. Because house prices were so high that people were selling and moving out. And I'd never heard that. I think these guys just make that stuff up as clickbait.
And I think maybe a lot of people on the coast have because of the hurricane season that we've had.
The hurricane thing is, and that could be an insurance problem too, if you're on the coast. So, and I put that warning out there about the coast, all the goods and the bads about being on the coast. So if you decide to buy a house on the coast, and your house gets blown away and the insurance company is playing games with you, I'm not going to feel sorry for you because you've been warned.
Yeah, a wrestler. Talking about lupus, he said, I see him every day in my shower.
What's that?
And the lupus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Exodus. Yeah, that's it. Mass exodus.
Okay. Philip McNichol says, I've seen many stories that Florida has a huge inventory of homes and prices are dropping. Retired or moving out.
First of all, when you start talking to Florida, that's the state. Yeah. Florida is not the villages. And you have to take each section different. When it comes to retirement communities, we are the largest retirement community in the world. We are the most popular retirement community, I believe, still in the United States. But I know we're the most popular in the state of Florida. So what happens, say, in Tampa isn't necessarily what happens here. I just know that.
And then I said, the coastal areas, yes, people are moving out because of the bad storms and their price of insurance has went high. But there's always a plethora of people. I mean, the way they're building here, they would not be building like this if people were leaving the state. Like I said, the way they're building here is unreal. I actually seen a guy on the news the other day. They were doing some kind of survey or what have you, and the Villages was included in it, which I was surprised. I happened on it by mistake. And he was talking about, some of these other places that were losing people. But here they're still building and they're still selling. They're selling slowed a little bit, but like I said, this time of year, it usually does. But it's kind of backwards with what they are up north. Up north, usually people wait until school is out or before school starts to do. So the best time to sell up there is during the summer months. Here it's a little bit different because these are retirees. So they don't have to worry when school starts or when school is out. But like I said, things have slowed down a bit, and I think the prices has a lot to do with it because the prices keep going up, and so people are hesitating.
Well, I think that depends on where you're coming from too. Yeah. I mean, like if you're from, say, I don't know, let's say San Diego, California, price of homes there are just for an average home, $1 million and up. So if you've lived there for 30 years, you can sell that home for $1 million. Come here, buy a $500,000 home, which is a damn nice home, and put $500,000 in the bank. Yeah. We were not that lucky to do that, but there are a lot of people from Long Island, another place I think where property is really high, and they can come down here and buy a nice home and put money in the bank.
Yeah.
Now, if you're from, say, I don't know where, Chicago, that may or may not be true. I don't know what house prices are in Chicago.
Yeah, but people are waiting. A lot of it has to do with the economy, and they're waiting to see what Mr. Trump does because the interest rate did come down, but the interest rate on homes didn't, which that kind of perplexes me. I don't know what the difference is there. But
you mean the interest rate to borrow money for a home loan is the same? It didn't come down?
It's going to come down again this month, but it's not.
You just said it didn't come down.
Well, for what they use to buy houses, it didn't change.
That would be a home loan.
Yeah.
So home loan stayed the same, but other interest rate came down?
That's the way I understood it. But
I don't understand that.
Why I don't understand, that's what I said, I don't get it. So Tyler says, Philip, there's a huge inventory of homes, but that's great for buyers. Lots of incentives if you get with the right motivated seller. That's true.
Well, I did on one of the, I think one of the news things, like maybe a month or two ago, of a retirement community over by Tampa. And I don't remember exactly where it was at. Don't even remember the name. You have to go back and look on the news. And I showed some pictures of some homes over there, 3 and 4 bedroom homes, 2 and 3 bathroom homes that were selling. They weren't brand new. They were pre-owned, much bigger yards than what we got if you want a big yard. And I believe it was a 55 plus community. And the house prices there was like $250,000 to $300,000 for 4 bedroom homes. Which here that's unheard of. So I said, if you guys are interested, here's a phone number. And I said, call them, check them out. One of the people came to our chat here and said they lived there. and said if you needed had any questions, just ask her. She would be more than glad to answer them for you and give you some information. Which I wasn't interested. I'm here where I'm here. I'll probably take root here. Interesting fact. Did you know that if you can get the approval from your state to bury somebody in your property, in your yard, farmers do it all the time. They take a section of the pasture field, make it a family graveyard. Once you do that, the state cannot charge you property taxes anymore.
On that parcel, just on that parcel, not everything.
Really? I thought it was the whole property.
I think it's just on that particular parcel.
Because if that's the case, I want to be buried like right here.
In backyard. Just do. We did Jack. We'll put him next to the koi pond.
Next to the pond, yeah. Bury Jack next to the koi pond.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Judge Smith says insurance and taxes have gone up in Ohio too, and we're all paying the price. Yeah, it's it's the economy. You just can't get around it. Things are progressing. We're not going to pay what we paid 20 years ago for anything.
But when we have hurricanes here, I don't think just the people in Florida is paying for this hurricane repair. This is insurance money because this insurance is a company that does business nationwide. And I think they have a fund.
Yeah.
And it's just like right now, I'm wondering how much our insurance is going to go up because of all these California fires. And you know what happens after the fire? Comes the mudslides.
Yeah. So that's what I say. You can't win. This is the way of the world. If you can afford it, fine. If you can't, fine. It's just, like I said, nothing's going to go down to what it was 20 years ago.
Or put money in the bank and self-insure yourself.
Yeah. Let's say Tyler says there's been insurance issues in Florida since before Skip moved here. That's right. They've been having hurricanes all this time. It depends.
Florida's got two things that I remember before we moved here. Two complaints. One was the home insurance because of hurricanes and whatever. That's been going on forever. He's right. Second thing is, even my own doctor up there said it. He said if you can't get your license in any other state, all the doctors go to Florida because they have the worst doctors of the United States. I'm not saying that's everywhere in Florida, but it does have that reputation that medical down here sucks.
Yeah, but you do your homework. I found some good medical doctors here, but you got to do your homework because not all of them are the best.
I can tell you here, the first couple of years we were here, somebody needed a knee replacement surgery. And they didn't know where to go, and they looked around, and then somebody told them about this doctor that was in Orlando, I think. And they went down there and talked to him, I guess, and got x-rays and all that. And they had their x-ray or their knee replacement down there. Yeah. Other people was watching to see how they recovered. And they asked her questions, talked to her. Well, I'm saying like within 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, she was out here on the road walking around for exercise.
Yeah.
And she wasn't limping, walking a little slow, but not limping or anything.
Yeah, and since then, that doctor's opened an office here in the Villages.
Yeah, that's how everybody's
only here a couple days a week, but still, he did a good draw here. So, Tyler says just closed on a loan in September at 7.5%. Yeah, that's
should be 5.
Well, he said mortgage, not loan.
I don't care. Yeah. House mortgages, 5% for these banks is enough. I said that's you don't know how many hundreds of billions of dollars profit that is in 1 year just for that. But because the government gives the money to the bank at 2.5% interest. Anything over that's bank profit. So to charge you 7%. Well, I'll tell you another ripoff. Credit cards, 25% interest. Are you kidding me? That's like they put mafia people in jail for that kind of thing.
I remember at one time we had a house and we were paying 13. I think. Yeah, I think we was paying 13, 14%. Something like that. I
remember when, I'm thinking about Mom. I remember when CDs got up to 10%. Mom took all of her money out and she went out and bought $10,000 CDs.
Yeah. As soon as she got $500, she'd buy another CD.
Yeah. And I have never been one to really pay attention to interest rates. And what does that really mean? If you want it, you get it. You don't worry about it. You finance a car, you sign papers. Nobody knows what interest rates is on their car. So and I asked Mom about it, and she says, "Do you realize that 10% your money will double in 7 years?" I had to think about that, and I asked the bank guy. He said, "Your mom's smarter than you are." She's right. In 7 years, You leave it alone for 7 years. If you had $1 million in 7 years, now you have $2 million.
Yeah.
And I thought, damn, wish I'd have known that.
And Deb Ritz says, we live in Ohio and have a second home in the Villages, but we're planning on putting our house up for sale soon because it's way too expensive to live there because thing. Well,
Here or there?
Here.
He's going to sell the house here.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, because it's too expensive to live here.
Well, it ain't the cheapest place in the world to live. No, it's not. They talk about food prices. We see them all the time. I don't know much about food prices. All I know is, you know, it is what it is. If you want it, you buy it. If you don't buy it. People around here, I've heard these stories. They say it's cheaper to eat out than it is to buy groceries and cook it yourself at home. Maybe it is. I don't know. But some of the restaurants I've been to here in the Villages, I can say to myself anyway, I don't think that's true. Where else can you go? Except to Wooster's Bar and Grill and pay $30 for a hamburger and fry.
Yeah.
Not including a drink.
It's Boosters, not Worcesters.
Whatever it is.
Worcesters is Massachusetts. Let's see.
Well, all I know is I went down there because you know how I am about the FMK. Mm-hmm. I just don't even want to go to any of their restaurants anymore. And we went to Wooster's, Boosters, whatever it is. And I asked him in the video, if you watched the video of that long golf cart ride down there, I said, is this place owned by the developer or is this an FMK restaurant? He said, it's still owned by the developer. And I said, well, okay, it'll be run right then for a while until he decides to sell it to somebody else. And they usually are. When he's got it, it's usually run really well. And then on the news, I'm going through some of the news, and it's talking about the new FMK restaurant, Wooster's down there.
Now, they're building a new one in
Middleton.
Middleton.
I reported it. You'll see
Middleton.
it.
It's a steakhouse in Middleton that they're opening.
No, they're talking about Wooster. It said Boosters. You'll see it in the news.
Well, I didn't get a name, but I knew they were building a new steakhouse in Middleton, and it's going to be it's got an odd name, but anyhow. And then yes, Kevin, you can find a good doctor, but like I said, you got to do your homework because I've had a few that weren't.
The first year we was down here full time. No, it was full time because I had Nixon here, his granddaughter, and she went in to get one of her treatments done down here. That she had done her homework supposedly, and we went over to. She wanted to go over and see her. We go over there, and this place reminded me of a third world country when I went in. Nobody spoke English. People were sitting around everywhere. Some of them were sitting on the floor. Sue's in the back room. One light bulb hanging out of the ceiling up there. Cobwebs over in the corner. A doctor, I didn't know what he was, white coat, mustard stain over here, standing there, and Sue's in a lazy boy chair with a glass bottle of stuff up here. And I'm looking at this, and I told her right there, I said, you better find somewhere else to go, or we're going to go back to Indiana. I said, because we're not going to come to a dump like this. That was the doctor standing there listening to me.
Yeah. And they retired and closed up, but what I didn't know was there had been like 5 doctors in that office, and they were the only 2 left. And I said they were getting ready for retirement, so they didn't spend a lot of money on anything. And the other doctors owned part of the stuff, so they took the TVs, they took part of the chairs, a lot of the equipment. Like I said, these recliners were from a hospital back 20 years ago, I think. They were not comfortable. But yeah, it was at the time I didn't want to have to go all the way to Tavares. I was going to Tavares for my treatments, and that's a long drive. And after you sit for hours. And
the area where we were at Tavares, as you went into the doctor's office, this was the second doctor she found to do this. There's an overhang by the door. There's a hole up here, and there's a bird's nest in there, right by the front door. As a doctor's office, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The reason why I'm not really interested in moving around all that much, finding somebody that does these specific treatments is hard. Most don't do it. And the Village is now opened up, right? The Village has opened this up?
Yeah, before it wasn't Florida Cancer. It was Moffitt, and Moffitt would not do my treatments. And now that it's Florida Cancer, I've been going there ever since, and they're wonderful. And then when I had breast cancer, I also went to Florida Cancer. And I've never had a bad thing to say about them.
So if I ever move out of the Villages, and I'm not saying that's not impossible, but if I do, I'm always going to look somewhere on the outer edges here to buy so she can continue going.
To Florida Cancer.
You can go there because you're not in the village's system.
No.
Yeah, so she can continue to go there.
Yeah.
So that's my limitations. So I take my own advice. If you're looking for a place to buy and you're not sure about this village or that village or which is the best one to move into, just know what it is you want to be close to, what it is you want to do. That will narrow your search down, whether you buy pre-owned or brand new. It won't make any difference.
Yeah. Rich A says, I live in PA near New Jersey. 3 years ago, an EF3 tornado wiped out the car dealer that I have my vehicle service. My house insurance went up by $400 the following year. And yeah, you know, our house insurance goes up $200 or so every year. Not that I'm crazy about it, but at least I haven't been canceled yet. And I figured this year, since we did have a claim because of the roof from the last hurricane, and it was a small claim, but it was still a claim, and we never claimed anything before. And we've been here 10 years, and you know, that's kind of where they start looking at things after 10 years, you know, looking at your new roof or your new air conditioner or that kind of thing. But they have not canceled me yet. So I've got them for another year. Although they did change, instead of the deductible, the $500 deductible, they have changed to a 2%, which will make, unless you get a whole roof, a whole new roof, will make getting partial stuff kind of undoable with insurance.
Here's my biggest problem here. It ain't got nothing to do with the houses, the developer, or none of that. And this ain't clickbait either. It's the outside contractors that do work here, and we need them. Your landscaper, the guy that trims your bushes, the guy that may come and put gutters on your house, any of that kind of stuff. Is that I still say they're playing a game. They're trying to figure out how high can I go with my prices here before people start saying no. Because I'm hearing prices about things that only 3 and 4 years ago that we did, and people are telling me, well, I called that guy that you told us about, and he charged me this, and I'm going like, holy crap! Did the price of materials go up that high? I find that hard to believe. So. It's just like the guy we have mowing our yard. He's been the same guy for 10 years now. As you know, I don't like firing people, and I won't. Well, they're telling me other people in different areas of the villages here that has yards basically the same size as mine, they're paying upwards of $75 a month to get their yard mowed. Just get the yard mowed. I'm not even paying that, but I'm just wondering, you know, where's the cutoff?
Yeah, and I think the only reason ours hasn't went up is because
I wear the border hat. And I call him Jose, and I don't know what his name is.
Oh, you call him anything, but he's been with us since we moved here, so I think that's why they've never changed the pricing on it. But I have sent people to him, and they have different pricing because things have went up. You know, the price of gases went up, and the mowers and that kind of thing. So I understand him raising the price a little bit. But he's kept ours the same ever since we've been here. So we're fortunate there.
But I'm just leery about recommending these people anymore because I'm recommending people that I know what they charged me and how well it was and all this and that. 10 years later, I'm finding out there's significant changes. And I don't want people to get mad at me because I recommended something that didn't turn out. Just like the lanai, I haven't done it. I usually about once a year I do a video on the lanai, getting it enclosed. We got ceiling to floor sliding doors. That's just what we decided. That's not the only way to close the lanai. And I get questions all the time saying, show us how this works and how much was it? Listen, I don't know how much it is today. I just know what I paid 10 years ago. And I know the price of this stuff has went up. But like I say, I think they're playing a game. How high can I go? Because there's so many homes being built here and sold here. The demand is high for all this stuff, especially during snowbird season. It's really high. And if I tell you what I paid and you're going to call me up and say, hey, they charged me $10,000 more than you quoted me. Well, first of all, I ain't quoting you nothing. I'm just telling you how much I paid. So I haven't really responded to any of those videos or emails about how much for this or how much for that. It's because I just don't want to get into that fight.
Yeah, and we can give you an idea by telling you what ours cost. But like, you know, we don't keep up with what the prices have went to.
I don't work for none of these companies.
Yeah.
They don't sponsor me. So I can't tell you. I don't know.
Now, as far as workmanship, we can tell you who did a good job.
Yes.
And who was very responsible about it being on time.
And who had decent customer service.
And decent customer service. Yeah, we can tell you that because we know how that we've been treated. But other than that, like it's kind of a crapshoot. So, Cindy says, Skip, your mom knew the rule of 72, which a lot of people have mentioned that.
What's that?
The rule of 72. You divide 72 by the interest rate, and the answer is how many years it takes to double your money.
All I know is my mom never graduated high school.
Yeah.
And will you shut up? And
He wants something.
he always wants something. How about this? How about I just shut the door?
He probably wants another cookie.
Anyway, we always said that two things about Mom. She could take a nickel and she could squeeze it and make the buffalo shit on the back of it. She was a penny pincher.
She was.
And I think she missed her calling because if she'd have went and got her degree in some way, back in the day, you didn't need a college degree to get a decent job. She could have been like a CEO's accountant or something.
Yeah, she had perfect records. She had notebooks full of copies of every check she ever wrote. She had a whole closet full of these notebooks. It was unbelievable. And
what do you want?
And I said some of the things she did. She kept track of, like I said, the thing with the CDs. I did not know at that time about that, and we didn't actually know she was doing that until after she'd passed away. And she left a nice little nest
With
egg.
the chickens?
But yeah, she was very, very smart when it came to that kind of thing. And I said, I wished we'd been that smart about things ourselves. We'd be in a heck of a lot better shape than what we are. So, but yeah, I'd heard of the rule of 72, but not really paid that much attention to it. And I said, we made lots of money on flipping houses, but we did that before it was a thing on TV. I said, we just see one that had some potential and, and we worked on it. Now we're kind of too old to do that kind of work. So we don't do that. But if we'd have paid attention to the banking part of it, we may have done better. So, Rester says, yes, I remember mortgage rates at 15%. When I went down to 10%, people were celebrating and refinancing. Nowadays, 6% seems like a robbery. Well, and I remember, the lady on TV that's on Shark Tank, Barbara Corcoran, and, she made her money in real estate. And she said, watch, when the interest rate got down to 5%, she said, all hell would break loose in the real estate market. Well, it's, I don't know what it is right now as of this today, because I know that they were going to have another rate cut. It was going to be like a quarter point or something like that. And I don't know if they've done it yet. I don't think so. But yeah, I'm still waiting to see that when it gets to that 5% mark and what happens. So, because she's a smart cookie. The family man says dining out is no longer enjoyable for us because the costs have got too high. It is, and I said it's a shame because I love to do that. Skip doesn't go out much, but I go out with the girls a lot because we like to have lunch and go see a show or
they're lying.
Things like that.
They like to go out to get away from us.
Well, that too. If you would go, I would take you with me. But
they had a birthday party for Judy the other day, and I never got no invite. And I called Jose. I said, did you get invited to this thing? No, he never got invited either.
It was girls only. And I said, and then we went to Dade Battlefield, to the state park. And it was they were having their Christmas thing there. And I think next week, I think it's the 15th, they're going to have the war reenactment there. In which it was kind of cute because it was like $5 for parking to get in. That's all it was. And I think when they do the war reenactment, it's $5 plus it's a $3 parking fee. But they have a lot of people there that are making things. Some of the things they were making at that time was they were making wassail. Here we go, a wassailing, that kind of thing. I'd heard the name, did not know what it was, but it's basically cider. But it was warm. They had a big pot over an open fire, and they were putting this cider in the pot, and they added, I don't know, a few things to it, and then you would drink it warm. Very, very good. I could understand on a snowy night sitting around the Christmas tree drinking your wassail. And then they had somebody that was actually popping real popcorn in an open kettle over the fire. And they had a guy there that had berry crisp. And I was surprised because Linda had never tasted it before. And so I think I'm going to have to show her some of this good cooking around. You know, I come from the Midwest, and they cook a lot. And I said, Sunday dinners, I asked her if she'd had peach cobbler. She never had peach cobbler. So that's something that's on my list. I'm going to have to make for her. But
my favorite granddaughter used to make that for me when she come here. She's not going to be coming here anymore. They moved back to Indiana.
Yes, unfortunately. But anyhow, like I said, we watched them do. They made Christmas wreaths out of just pieces of pine, and they had old time toys that they had made, and there was several old kind of toys that they used to make, and the one boy showed me a nutcracker that he'd made.
I had a nutcracker.
That was me.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I knew you were, but like I said, it was really ingenious, and I said it was just a couple spools with wood in the center of it, and you turn the spools, and the nut was in the center, and when you turn the spool, the spindles actually cracked the nut. But I mean, a little, it wasn't a whole lot, but very interesting. They had a couple of food trucks there. And then inside they had some people that did woodworking toys, and there was a guy that did whittling. And I remember I had an uncle that used to whittle Indian replicas all the time. And he had some beautiful stuff. And this guy was making little wooden toys and display pieces and stuff like that. And then there was ladies that made corn husk dolls. And then there was a doll that I couldn't say the name of it. But she showed us what it was, because I said, I'd never heard of that one before. And she showed it what it was. And it was interesting. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was interesting. And I did do a video there, although I doubt if you'll ever see it. But I did do a video there because I was kind of really interested in what they were doing. And I've heard from Wrestler, his son went to the reenactment when they were here. And he really liked it, and so I'm sure, I'm sure that'd probably be pretty popular too. And I think it starts the 15th. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Joe said pre-COVID they went out to eat several times a week. I can only assume an average cost here, and lunch would run them 30. Let's see, what times a week. But now that lunch runs $35 to $40, I'm gonna say that's pretty typical for lunch. I've noticed that here too. We used to go out and eat dinner. Well, we're always talking about what used to be. Well, time don't stand still. And before I moved down here, though, I lived in Indianapolis, where you might say food's a little higher, around the big city than the small cities. I'm not sure that's true. We'd go to Olive Garden, which is one of my favorite restaurants, or Red Lobster, places like that. But there's some local places to go to, but I really like those two places. $30, $35, $40 maybe if I got dessert and stuff. Now you go down here. We went to Olive Garden here a couple months ago. I don't know if I got any dessert, did I?
I don't remember.
We sat in that.
Every once in a while you get
the place was full. We went into the back room back there, and I made a statement saying, well, you can tell the snowbirds are coming back, because they started lining up these long tables for 15 to 20 people at a time, because they're all coming back. And, let's all go out to have. So, anyway, we're sitting in there eating, and I think my bill, and I told Sue, I said, this is almost getting crazy. It was like, I want to say it was like $54, $55 just for the two of us to have just dinner. She usually has water. I have a Coke. And that's it. It's... Yeah, to me, it is a little nuts.
Now, Desmindy says it's a lot less expensive here than what they're used to in Northern Virginia.
It depends on where you come from.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that. I hear people all the time. I'm bitching about them charging $4.50 and $5 a beer. When I moved here, beer at any of the country clubs for residents, there was resident prices. You showed them your card. And I think I was getting 16-ounce beer for... This is when I discovered Yingling. I'd never had one in my life. And I think I was getting it for like $2.50 a glass, $2. And a lot of places at a certain hour of the day, they'd have like 2 for 1 kind of thing, which is kind of a lie, but that's what they advertised. Now I'm hearing costs of like $5 a glass at these same places. So, yeah, I don't see where beer prices has doubled
Yeah.
in the stores. Why are they doubling here? I just don't understand it.
You know what really surprised me? Jose was on Discord the other day, and he sent a menu price for the new place in Spanish Springs that's open, and it's called Craves, and it's hot dogs. Basically, that's what it is: hot dogs and a drink. And he sent us the price list, and I think the fries were like $9.
For French fries?
Yeah, the hot dogs were $12.99. The French fries was $9.
So for a hot dog and fries, it's $20.
Well, yeah, and
Not including a drink.
Yeah, and that's what I was so surprised. But they're brand new. They just opened. I think they're going to learn their lesson really quick. But yeah, I was just so shocked by that.
You know, we first moved down here in our patio villa we had. We came down to Brownwood. Was it here? Yeah, we came down to Brownwood and was looking around. The squares were kind of open, but kind of not. And we went to a restaurant down there. It was a Bavarian, I think. Bavarian, the guy on the corner right there, where Bluefin's at right now. Anyway, it was like a Bavarian restaurant. So we sit outside. Coming from Indiana, we always sit outside, especially when it's like November. You know, you go like, I can't believe this. I'm sitting outside in November.
Yeah.
And we got some kind of meal to menu, and I got a beer that came in and looked like a champagne glass. Why they had to do that, I don't know. But anyway, it did. And we got ready to leave, and for lunch, it was like $72, $74.
Yeah, because you had a beer that was like $12 for that one beer.
Yeah, but the menu, they didn't say anything. I said, you know, what kind of beer do you have? And anyway.
And I said, that was lunch, and we didn't have, you know, we had sandwiches.
As we walked away, this was still being advertised at that point. This was a retirement community. They don't advertise that anymore. And I told Sue, I said, he's going to learn real quick that Social Security isn't paying for that. They just ain't. Yeah. Well, it was about 6 months later, he changed it from Bavarian to something else.
Tapas.
Tapas. Yeah. I don't even know what tapas was.
It's small portions.
Yeah, we pay so much. You have a menu of stuff. And then let's say it's $9 a plate. So if I say I want a salad, some kind of lettuce salad, that's $9. I want some meat, $9. I want mashed potatoes, $9. So you tell what you want. Time you get done, it's $100 for two people to go down there and have dinner. Well, that guy's not here no more because they just priced themselves out.
Yeah, and I think they bring a lot of things in from like Palm Beach, and they don't go well here. So, but Joseph Smith says that pre-COVID they went out to eat several times a week, but now that a lunch runs $35 to $40 for two, I'm learning new recipes. And then yes, and I said he never did go out a whole lot.
No.
But
I'm getting kind of like a lot of these people. I read so much in the paper especially down here, more here than I ever did in Indianapolis, about the health board shutting restaurants down because they found the this or that. Listen, a couple of flies buzzing around don't really freak me out. I ate in truck stops. And if you don't like flies or stuff, you don't want to go to a truck stop. Let me just tell you. So that don't really freak me out all that much. But then the other day they shut down poor Bob Evans up here. Bob Evans. And I've seen him shut down Wendy's. I saw him shut down a McDonald's. You don't expect
Red Lobster.
Yeah, you don't expect to see that kind of stuff at these corporate places like that. And so I'm just to the point now that I trust her cooking. I just almost get to the point I don't trust these other places anymore. She went to Wendy's because that's one of my favorite hamburgers, believe it or not, is Wendy's. And she said, you want me to bring you something home? I said, yeah, bring me your Wendy's burger home. I don't like her fries, just a burger. So she gets the meal. She drinks the Coke. She eats the fries. I get the burger. And I eat about half the burger, and I set it out in the kitchen. I told Sue, I said, I think Wendy's is starting to lose it. And it ain't the meat. It's the way they put it together. They don't put them together right because people just don't care about their job anymore. And the bun was all soaked with tomato juice that comes out of the tomato. And
that might have been a one-time thing. Might have been somebody in the kitchen that wasn't used to it, but you just never know.
Well, then where's the manager that's supposed to be training these people how to do their job?
Well, that we don't know, but I mean, it's just one of those things.
I just don't take excuses for sloppy work. No. I just don't. Would you, if a guy told you the reason why your roof is leaking is because he didn't feel good that day, would you really care?
No. Tom R says Moffitt Cancer Center is a huge cancer center. Disappointing to hear they don't offer your treatment. Yeah, I was kind of shocked by it because it never was a big deal to get it, although it's very expensive. And that's one thing. The doctor that retired, I think they're the ones that cut my medicine down, and I think it's because they had to pay for it before I got it, and then my insurance, it took forever to pay. So I think that's one of the reasons that they cut me down to where they did. And I said, now, Moffitt might have had that in mind because they knew they were leaving and didn't want to leave this huge bill or what have you. But I was kind of surprised by that because it's not something that's unusual. And they've learned to use it for a lot of other different things other than what I have. So I was surprised by it. But like I said, I think they knew they were leaving. I didn't, but I think they knew they were leaving. And I didn't have any problem with Florida Cancer Center come, and they took me right away. And like I said, I've never had a problem with them since. So I think they're wonderful. And I think right now the two work together. I was reading something the other day about somebody that went to Moffitt, but they had their radiation here at Florida Cancer. And that way they didn't have to make the trip to Orlando or Tampa or what have you. They could have their treatments done right here at Florida Cancer, which that's wonderful because a lot of people have that problem. They like the doctors and all at Moffitt, but for your treatments, you can have it done here. And I said that I know that saves a lot of folks a lot of worry about making that trip all the way down there. So, but yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Moffitt. So I was really surprised.
So Wrestler likes to poke the bear. So what section is Skip saying is the best place to move into villages?
Okay.
I'm confused.
Amanda Hood says, hello, you two from frigid mid-Michigan. Well, honey, I'm glad it's you and not me. You ought to come on down because, it gets chilly here. We're going to have a chilly day tomorrow. I think it's going to be 61. And I said, and we had a week of cold weather in November.
So you're going to say it's chilly tomorrow, 61, and there's people probably in New York right now with 6 feet of snow in their front door probably thinking, oh, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, and I feel bad for them. I really do. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I have to move back north. Because, by the time I move back north, it probably won't make any difference. I'm probably be in the home and not be able to leave anyhow.
Probably be in a tin can.
Well, yeah. So, but yeah, I feel for you, Amanda. Missy Mo says hello from Case and Hammock, visiting from Michigan. Well, Missy Mo,
I've been to Case and Hammock.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it's at, but I've been there.
Oh, yeah, we got lost there once.
Did we go through there to go to Judy's rental?
No, I think we were looking for sawgrass at the time.
We got lost on the Judy's rental.
Yeah.
I did. I think I went through Case and Hammock.
Yeah, well, it's possible.
Don't remember much about it.
And you're lucky, Missy, that you're down here. Well, I said, Amanda's still up there. It's still cold. Okay, Jerry. Oh, yes, and welcome to the porch, Amanda. Yes, Jerry, thank you.
We have somebody new?
Amanda Hood.
Oh.
She said she's in mid-Michigan and then it's gold.
Oh, I thought she was down here.
No.
I thought she was from Michigan.
No, it's...
So it says, hello, you two from...
Missy Mo is here from Michigan. She's in Case and Hammock.
Oh, I thought maybe they were related.
So, have a good day, everyone. Bye, Kevin.
Hey, I was watching Ira's live show the other day for just a little while because I was in the middle of trying to edit some stuff, and I can't stay very long, so I usually just go on there and make some smart-ass comment to Ira because I know Christopher's got the camera, and he's reading all this stuff. So I put it on there. I says, an old man walking around town talking to himself. He must have escaped from the old folks' home, Take him back home.
Mr. Rizzo says the first roofer wanted $350. The second roofer was $200. Yeah, they're out there.
Did they speak English?
You don't have to have all these big time numbers out there. I
guess there's the $350 job. He spoke English. The $200 job, he didn't.
Yeah.
He goes, you get a discount. Call Jose, he'll interpret for you.
David Williams says, hi from Seattle. See you guys in February. Smart man. Yeah, February is a good time to come down here, although it's hard to find a rental in February.
Yeah, the last week or two of February, this year is hard to tell because it's been kind of a weird year, is our spring. So around the last 2 weeks of February is when you start seeing spring flowers. We was out there yesterday pulling weeds in this little flower bed in the back, and I was showing Sue, you got to cut out all that dead stuff over here. The spring stuff is already coming up. It's that high.
Yeah. Scott from Connecticut says, what advice would you give a 52-year-old that is looking to move to the villages in the next few years?
Get married to a woman that'll take care of your house.
Oh, God. Scott, just, start getting rid of your stuff, because a lot of stuff don't work down here in these houses. People that bring down, they pay $7,000-8,000 to truck down their belongings, and they end up getting rid of them anyhow.
Yeah, don't do that.
So just start getting rid of stuff a little bit at a time.
Listen, you got some family stuff. We have family stuff that you have to keep, whether you want it or not. Really, you have to keep it because it's family stuff. But you can buy new couches here, chairs, things. Unless you got a big truck that's free that you can come down. This thing of pods and moving. I can go to every house here that moved in this year with pods in the driveway and things, and I can take pictures. I'm not going to, but I could, and tell you that 1 year from now, there's going to be a garage sale right here.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get rid of this stuff.
Or the thrift store is going to benefit. Don't bring china. Nobody uses china down here.
Don't bring any china.
If it's a family heirloom and it's sentimental, that's one thing. But don't expect to use it all the time. Some people do. But I
remember Larry over here, his wife, they came from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think it was Tulsa. They had Tulsi out there. Tulsi. And anyway, I played golf with Larry like every day. I asked him one day, because he kept talking about Tulsa and the grandkids and whatever, and I said, so do you like it here? And he's a golfer. He said, I love it here. He said, I can play golf every day of the week. I can play a different course every day of the week. And in 1 year, he said, I think I'll make it through all the different golf courses. And that might be true. I don't know. And so he loved it here. And we played with him like every week. And one day he told me, he said that they sold their house and were going to move back to Tulsa. I said, why are you doing that? I thought you liked it here. He said, well, my wife, she wants to go back there because she's a church member, and the ladies at the church did all kinds of stuff there that they don't do here and that kind of thing. I said, well, that's too bad. I said, but didn't she kind of know that before she moved here? He said, nah, I don't think she really checked any of that out. So we're going to go back. Now, this is the guy that brought a semi-load of furniture from Tulsa at their house to here and put it in this house down here. Now, they did use it. And I talked to him one day when we was playing golf. I just, not even thinking really, because none of my business. I just asked, so what'd they charge you to, as an old trucker, I'm asking, what'd they charge you to bring that furniture over here in that Mayflower truck from Tulsa? $9,000. He said, I had to box up all the small stuff like clothes, breakable items, that kind of stuff. And then they loaded up everything else, the furniture, this and that. And that included, they put it in storage here, I think he said, for a week. And you have to pay so much a day for it to sit in that trailer while it's sitting in the driveway or the parking lot. Then he brought it over here and unloaded the furniture and put it whatever you told him to. And the boxes and things, they took them out of the truck, and then they pretty much set them all in the garage, and then you had to unpack those. Yeah. And that makes sense to the average person. My point is, if they charged him $9,000 to come over here, and he was here for, I think he told me he told his wife she'd give him 2 years. 2 years, if I don't like it, we got to go back. So 2 years to the date, they're packing this stuff back up, putting it on the Mayflower truck. So if it was $9,000 over, that's $18,000 moving this furniture around. How much furniture can I buy for $18,000?
Yeah, and the fun of buying new.
That's the other thing I'm saying. I've seen that so much here. You do what you got to do what makes you sleep well at night. But you don't need, and I say this all the time here, you don't need 15 coffee cups. You don't need 37 dinner plates. You don't need all this crap that you think you need. Yeah. And I said, because down the line, you're going to be getting rid of stuff. But at 52, if you're looking for things to do before you move here, that's one of the things that you could be aware of. Just don't bring a lot of stuff with you that you have now. It's nothing to buy it down here.
There's a lot of stores, a lot of shopping down here, so you can buy it down here. And you don't have to do it all at once. I mean, we brought the stuff from our...
What was our very first living room furniture on that patio villa when we first bought it? We come down here and our living room furniture consisted of what?
Thrift store stuff.
No, it didn't. It consisted of a flat screen TV that she bought at Walmart up there. It was sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
And we had 2 lawn chairs that we unfolded in the living room, and I was sitting in this lawn chair watching the TV in the living room.
And the only thing we had was a bed. I bought the bed new, but other than that, we didn't have any other furniture. And then when I did buy furniture, because we wanted to rent the place out at the time, I went to the thrift stores.
Yeah, because we knew we was going to rent it out in the wintertime.
Because
it was nice furniture, but it was pre-used.
But going to a brand new furniture store, don't expect to get it the next day.
No.
I said sometimes it's 6 months wait to get new stuff, no matter where you're at. But that kind of surprised me. So, and I said, the thrift stores are here, not like the ones you're used to. I never went to a thrift store up north. I mean, I didn't. And I wonder now why I didn't. But I said here.
Well, the ones up north ain't like they are down here.
Well, people move all the time here. They're moving to another house. They're moving back home, moving to a different neighborhood. And so some of the stuff at these thrift stores are like brand new. Some of it is brand new. And so I said, we furnished the place over the patio villa. We furnished it with stuff from the thrift stores. And other than I think I bought some houseware, some silverware, dishes, that kind of thing. I bought that at Walmart.
And probably 18 or 19 coffee cups.
Yeah. Then when we moved here, we brought all that stuff here. And a little bit at a time,
we've been adding 18 or 19 more coffee cups.
We replaced it a little bit at a time. I got,
I'm going to do a video someday of the coffee cups in this house.
Oh, God. And then we'll take a look at his office.
There's coffee cups in there, too, that I haven't given away yet. I got 8 or 9 I'm pooping coffee cups. Yeah, that's what I call them. And then I've got a whole bunch of W&L coffee cups that when we were doing the show, we used to give stuff away all the time. Yeah. And I didn't give those away, so I still got them in there. And I think I got a gross of new ink pens, right? And lights that we usually give away to people.
Yeah.
And,
but like I said, the biggest share of the crap is in that office, not in my house. So
you can always shut the door.
I do.
Kind of like the bathroom door when you're pooping.
Okay. Let me see. Yes, it stopped raining, and the sun's trying to come out. It's still pretty cloudy. I seen a little bit of sun a while ago, but we still got quite a bit of clouds.
Do you ever notice
that's the way the weather is here?
Whenever you're dating and you go over to visit your girlfriend, or she comes over to visit you at your apartment or whatever, and you have to go use the bathroom, you shut the door, try to be quiet and all that. How many years is it when you get married? How much time passes before you just start taking a leak or taking a poop and just leave a door open?
Yeah, and I've told my sister, you need 2 bathrooms. It's a must. Yes, we need 2 bathrooms. That's all there is to it. and she said, what do you need 2 for? I said, you'll find out. When you get a little older, you'll find out. Well, she's finding that out. But like I said, they bought an old farmhouse and remodeled it. And then they had a big laundry room that was the size of 2 bedrooms. And I told her, I said, put in another bathroom. She said, well, I don't think we need 2 bathrooms. Well, it would have been a good use of space to me.
Or an outhouse.
Yeah. Let's see.
I have used an outhouse. When Dad bought that first farm, I was probably like 10 years old or something like that. It actually had a functioning outhouse next to the farmhouse. And the farmhouse had only one plumbing. That was the kitchen sink. That was straight to the well. There was no water filters or any of that stuff. It was just water that came out of the ground. And, so that's how I remember things then. And when I hear people whine about some of the silly stuff now, I think back then, and look, how much more whining can we do? We need to get some water filter on here because I think I got 1 million particulates showing up on this stick that I stuck in there. And it shows that this thing's mine says, I can read a newspaper through it. It's good to drink.
Yeah, you wouldn't drink it because it smelled.
Well, water shouldn't stink.
Well,
I'll go along. But even though
we come from the land of sulfur, and you're telling me that?
But that doesn't make the water bad. It just has a smell. But sulfur does not make the water bad.
But it was not good for a lot of other things. So
no, now we have to have bottled water, and I don't want just any bottled water. I got to have this bottled water or that bottled water. I mean, come on, it's water.
Okay, what kind of tea do you like?
Well, I can drink any tea, but if I have my preference, I like the tea that's got the sugar cane in it. Up to which I know sugar cane is supposed to be worse for you than sugar. But at my age, you can't win. No matter what it is you drink, you just cannot win. So I drink what I drink because I like it.
This Mindy said there was a wassail recipe in the Daily Sun the other day. I didn't see that.
Waffle.
Actually, wassail. That's what we had at the Dade Battlefield.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's cider, and then they add some stuff to it. And I said she was making it. She was making it in a big iron pot.
It's booze?
No.
Well, what is it?
It's apple cider, and they add some stuff to it.
Why do they call it that?
It's a recipe. I don't know. I didn't see the recipe. I don't know what all they put in it. This lady was telling us, but there was some guy next to us that was pretty loud, and so I couldn't hear what she said.
Oh, was he drunk?
No. He was just a man.
Let me tell you another little complaint I got about the villages. After you're here for a couple of years, you'll notice it. You won't notice it as new people. There's no restaurant around here that you can go to that I'll say is quiet. Everything here is so noisy. You just can't find a quiet place to go unless you go, like say, to an Olive Garden maybe, and that's about as quiet as it gets, really. Because everything around here is about bands and music, and even though that sounds like a great thing, if your family comes down or friends come down, you guys want to go out and have some dinner and talk for a while, try to find a quiet place at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Go to a place that has a ceiling. These ones that have the open ceilings, that's where the noise just kind of ricochets off that ceiling. But the ones that have a lower ceiling, that keeps the noise down. But when there's a lot of people, there's no way of keeping the sound down.
That's a normal rumble. I'm not talking about just like pin drop quiet. I'm just talking about just a normal restaurant rumble like you have at Olive Garden. Most of these down here, it just gets loud. The bands are playing outside. People start talking louder to get.
Sound like an old man.
It's just too noisy. Sitting outside is quieter.
Yeah. Peter Jones says, great to see you back, Sue. Linda and Judy were great last week. They were, weren't they? And I wanted, Kevin was so wonderful to fill in for me because I said I knew, and I didn't know what kind of problems I was going to have with this surgery. So I'd ask him ahead of time just in case. And then Linda and Judy come to visit me because they knew I'd had it. And so it was kind of a nice little group there. And I appreciate all of them. Really, I do.
So they come to see you. They didn't come to visit me.
Well, no.
This is like one-sided here.
Elizabeth says, William, congratulations on paying off your mortgage. The extra money you will have each month will make your monthly budget easier.
I'll tell you what, paying off a mortgage is a big deal. The young people don't understand today, but the paying off a mortgage, matter of fact, when mom and dad were still alive, they used to have mortgage, I'm going to say burning mortgage.
Yeah, they'd burn the mortgage.
Yeah, they had a party.
I remember our church did that when they got their mortgage paid for. They had a big party, and it was to burn the mortgage. No. Let's see. Jerry Bell says, Scott from Connecticut saying, go down for a visit to see what kind of homes you like and what areas it will help narrow things down. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do it on the internet. I mean, really it is. We did it, but we knew what kind of houses was here.
Well, we had been here many times, though.
Yeah, because we'd been here many times.
We also knew what the prices were. Keep in mind, things change. I've said it 100 times. We were going to be snowbirds.
Yeah.
We did not plan on coming here full time. But prices changed, economy changed. And so anyway, we sell the first house, come here full time. And that's the reason why we did it. But we knew what we wanted. So the first house, that's really kind of what got my YouTube channel started. I didn't know what I was doing on YouTube. I just knew what YouTube was, but that's all I knew. We bought our first house off the internet. Never saw the house. Well, we did. We saw pictures. I had a person I've been doing business with that was a realtor for the villages. So he would send me pictures. I sent them over to him because he didn't even know his place was for sale. It's
a long story.
It's a long story. I'll tell you someday about it. So anyway, he goes over, takes pictures, and he calls me, and I talk to him and everything. I said, well, I want it. And I also knew that if you didn't jump on it quick, these things get tied up into a bid war, all kinds of stuff. So he says, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want it. I pay cash, full price." And so anyway, that led to a lot of other stuff, and I ended up buying this house. But he asked me, make a long story kind of quick and short. He said, "How did you find out about this place?" He said, "Because it's not even on our website yet." I said, "I don't know. It came on my phone. Somebody sent it to me. I thought you did." He said, "No." He said, "I didn't even know it was for sale until you called and told me." And so this day, we have no idea how I got that information.
William says, looks like the front has moved through quickly and the sun is coming out.
It ain't coming out here.
We still got a lot of clouds. But William, I think, is a little farther south of us. So.
Is he?
Says Charlotte Como said they shut down a KFC in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. It's been closed for about a month. Yeah, things are different than what they used to be. One is the prices and people aren't going out as much. Another is the amount of places. Used to you had a couple restaurants and you had that choice, and now they're everywhere. There's 10 restaurants to every little block in some places. And I said, the price is going up. That makes a big difference. Until we had the one, we went to a KFC once because he loves that chicken. And I went there once and brought it home, and he said he couldn't hardly eat it.
Disgusting.
So it has a lot to do with the people that you've got. If you've got people that don't know what they're doing, are you going to be the recipient of somebody's learning curve? And I said, that place might be fine now.
Well, apparently we are.
This was when they were brand new. And I said, we remember the old place I used to go to is a lot farther drive. But theirs was always good. So to have a new place and it was awful, I always give somebody a second chance. Because you don't know if it has to do with the people there, or if it's just a bad day or what have you. But I with the price of things
nowadays. Are you
nowadays,
commenting on his thing about shutting down KFC? Mm-hmm. Okay. I had never heard about that, but yeah.
That's in McKeesport, Pennsylvania.
I get really leery anymore when these major corporation restaurants are being shut down because these corporations, generally speaking, they run a tight ship. They have to. They got regional managers and local managers and all this kind of stuff. One person's got to report to another. And so when I hear about a McDonald's being shut down by the health board and Bob Evans, I have never heard of Bob Evans ever being shut down, ever. It just tells me that things are changing. And I'm not sure I want to be the next person in line to go home and say, hey, by the way, I got sick and had to go to the hospital last night after I ate your food.
Well, look at what happened with the onions at McDonald's. And everybody loved McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. But
I noticed that the line isn't as long at the drive-up window anymore.
What is it, E. coli? Was it E. coli they had?
I'm not sure what
some kind of an outbreak on the onions from McDonald's. Yeah.
But yeah, it's
on the quarter pounder. That's really weird to me.
Yeah.
So they don't put onions on nothing else?
That's what I got, because they continue to sell everything else. Brad Shea says Dr. Kamath from Moffitt was from Moffitt, and he stayed to run the Florida Cancer Center radiation department, and that saved his wife's life. Yeah, there's a couple of the doctors that come from Moffitt there, and the radiation doctor was wonderful. I don't remember his name. I don't know if that was it or not. I have Dr. Acevedo, and I love him. He truly is good. And Dr. Hussein, and the one in the Sharon Morris building.
What's his last name?
Hussein.
I'd never go there.
Well, they're wonderful doctors. They're wonderful cancer doctors, and
yeah, well,
they're different doctors for radiation. They're different doctors for different
parts of cancer. Did you ask him if he was related?
We know.
I'm afraid I'd have to.
But it's like Smith. You know how many there are?
There's never enough.
But when I'm there waiting in line to be called.
How many are there?
Well, there's more than there is of other names.
Patel? More than that?
Point in fact, yes. So everybody's got that name. But yeah, I think
Patricia Ziller's comment?
No, I just got to it.
Well, I'm thinking maybe she might be a relative. I don't know. Of the people we bought the dog off of.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that.
So, hey, Skip and Sue, I want to thank Skip for the video he made when traveling back to Florida from Indiana. he stopped at Bloomfield, Kentucky to a restaurant called Bloomfield Meeting Hall, and we finally made it. Wasn't it cool? I mean, we happened on that place by accident.
They went there to visit themselves?
Yeah, and I said
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about the sidewalk.
Actually, it's the whole block, ain't it?
It was two sides of the street, and I think there's like 2 blocks there. But yeah, it was really, it was the oddest place I'd ever been in.
A restaurant that had a bowling alley in it.
Yeah, and it was an ice cream parlor with the bowling alley. But it was really, and the people that we bought Betty from, she worked in there, her and her husband, and it was really a wonderful place. And like I said, it was, it was one of those places that we had the motorhome fixed there outside, the inside of Kentucky there somewhere. And so we were
Not too far from Bloomfield.
Yeah, and we were heading to the Ark. We wanted to go visit the Ark. Yeah. And in between, when we left Taylorsville, going to the Ark, that's where we, Skip was hungry. So let's stop here. They got food.
I don't know. We just came through this little, you've seen the town. It's just a country little old town. I seen that restaurant there with tables out front, and I thought, hell, that looks like a good place to get a burger and a fry. Let's just go in there and see what that is. And that's how we found it. We didn't know anything about anything, but when we went inside and sat down, we just got to looking around, and the lady said, if you want to walk around and take pictures, go ahead. We encourage it. And I said, okay. And the more I walked around, the more I kept seeing.
Yeah.
Come to find out, it was some producer, some movie maker in Hollywood that owns all that.
Yeah. Jerry Bruckheimer. Jerry Bruckheimer had redone all that for, I think it's his wife's mother. That was her area that she lived in. It was her grandmother.
Somebody.
And I said, and they lived in that area. They've got a big place there. But like I said, they'd done it for the grandmother and to keep the town viable. Otherwise, it probably would have died out years ago. But just the neatest little thing. And he had a lot of movie memorabilia in there that I was really surprised about. But he did a lot of movies, so he would have that stuff. She said that they live in Louisville and they have a home in the Villages. Well, good. Are you down here now? You should be here now, because I know Kentucky's probably not got the best weather right now. Although there's a lot of places in Kentucky that we didn't get to, but living in Indiana, we did a lot of traveling back and forth. We do motorcycle rides to Kentucky all the time for lunch.
Yeah, we took 2-lane roads one time going down to Honda Hoot that year. It was going to be at Knoxville, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And everything we did that whole week was totally different than anything we'd ever done. We took 2-lane roads out of Indianapolis all the way to Knoxville, right? I don't think we got on the interstate, but maybe once for a few miles. Yeah. We got right off and went through all parts of Kentucky and stuff. Coming back from Honda Hoot, we split up a little bit because I wasn't feeling good, so I stayed in the hotel for an extra day, and everybody else left me there to die. So the next day when we got up, I took another 2-lane road, and it kind of went by, what do they call that, Black Mountain there? That big hill. I can't think of the name of the mountain. Anyway.
The one with all the turns.
All I know is we went through some creepy areas.
Yeah, we did.
And we went through some towns that you could hear the banjos playing. Yeah. And people were standing out in their yard as we go by, and they would just stare at us as we walked.
We went whitewater rafting in Ocoee.
Yeah, I went whitewater rafting. That's where I hit her in the eye and blackened her eye.
Say that 2 times. It's hard to say that. Yeah. Whitewater rafting. But yeah, we found a lot of places down there that we really, really loved. And
we stayed at a farm.
Yeah, it's a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, and they had all kinds of animals there, from camels to peacocks to I don't even know. Just running around.
I'm kind of curious whether it's still there. It was really nice.
I think it was called the Ocoee.
Ocoee, yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's where the whitewater rafting is, and that's where the bed and breakfast was. And I said it was a big farm, and they took the houses that the ranch hands had lived in, and they turned them into little cottages. And it was really, really nice. Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't sure we was going to get the motorcycles up there.
We also stayed at a bed and breakfast at some school.
Oh, I think it's Scott Campbell.
Scott Campbell.
But I don't think that was in Kentucky.
I thought, oh, maybe.
I think that was somewhere in Carolina.
It was an old 2- or 3-story house And the people we were with, she made the reservations for all of us. And nice house. And as a bed and breakfast, there was rules that, they made you breakfast, which breakfast was really good. I can't remember what it was, but it was really good. I remember that. And at night, they set cookies out, and then there was stuff in the refrigerator in the kitchen because the owners left. They just went home.
Yeah.
And so you guys are welcome to any of this. It's all, there it is. Just, don't tear things up.
We'll be back in the morning.
So they put us in our room. Well, not thinking. I'm looking in the room, and I go, what do we do? Do we share bathrooms here? Because there's no bathroom in my room. Do we all go down the hall? I never asked about the restroom. So I think the owner was still there at that time. And I asked him, I said, where's our restroom at? He says, it's in your room. So I'm making a joke. I said, what is it, a bedpan underneath the bed or something? Because I can't find it. He said, what room are you in? I told him. He looks up, he said, it's in your closet. Remember that? You had to open the closet. It wasn't very big, but there it was. There was a stool in there on this side of the closet, and over there was a little sink.
It was kind of underneath the staircase kind of thing. So. But it was really nice. So I said, we've traveled a lot, and I know you think we're terribly boring people, but, as you get older, you don't do that much traveling. But yeah, we did a lot of traveling in Kentucky, Tennessee, Carolina, and those kind of places. And we used to do it by motorcycle. So we've had a good time.
I traveled quite a bit. Last 5 years that I worked for UPS Freight with a buddy of mine, we were teaming it for UPS. We averaged 250,000 miles a year, every year. That's not letting too much grass grow under your tires.
No. And Wrestler says, yes, Jose will interpret for you. He then will take you out to lunch. Unfortunately, it will take 4 hours to get there.
It takes 4 hours to get there. I picked on him about that all the way down there. I said, good God. I didn't realize this was so far down here. I said, I'm never driving my golf cart down here. This is way too far.
Oh, and Amanda Hood says, no one uses China around here either. Well, it's one of those things. It's kind of I think you're kind of dated by your China. But a lot of people keep it because it's a family heirloom. If you have good China, it's handed down in the family and that kind of thing. I was not fortunate enough to have that. But I do have some pieces that I keep that have some memories for me.
Where's Amanda Hood live at?
She's in, I think she's in Michigan.
Wherever it is, she says it's going to be 15 degrees tomorrow.
That's Michigan, mid-Michigan, she said.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Scott from Connecticut says, thank you guys. Love watching your channel. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Scott. You got to leave? Well, I said, we love having everybody on here. It gives us something to do. Unless I missed last week because of a little surgery, but I said, I'm fine, as you can see. I'm just fine. I just didn't think I was camera worthy. And hey, poor guy. The Wrestler says, fix or repair daily. That's what you used to say about Fords. Yeah. Joseph Smith says, I'm coming down to Kissimmee the first week of January for the Mecum Auto Auction. Hopefully it stays warm and we'll be back in Kissimmee in March, and it's usually pretty nice by then. I used to love watching that on TV, that Mecum Auto Auction.
Well, they had it in Indianapolis, the one we watched.
Yeah, there was, there's a lot of memories there when you look at some of those cars. Like I said, my first car was a Corvair. You don't see many of those. But yeah, I used to watch that Mecum Auto Auction all the time. And usually the weather won't be too bad. It'll be better than what it is up north, but it probably won't be too bad. Bring a jacket. And let's see.
Marcia says that the thrift stores down here is pretty cool.
Destin. Yeah, in the Destin area are great. Many condo owners that rent out their places change out furniture every 3 or 4 years. They have beautiful coastal furniture, dirt cheap. Yeah, and like I said, I was not privy to that kind of thing when we come down here. And then Deb and I, when we got together, we actually got together on a thrift shopping bus tour. That's where we met each other. And then we started, once we did that, and it was kind of a fun thing. I mean, you went to this bus tour, you went to 5 different thrift stores, and the lady that owned the bus owned one of them. So she started this tour. It's not the one that they have online now, because that's a pretty expensive one. They go all over the state of Florida. But this one was just for this area, and the Ocala area, and they went to 5 different stores, and they had munchies at each one. And the one that they stopped at lunchtime, they had food. I mean, they had wine at some of them, and they had like chips and that kind of thing.
I thought they had wine like at every one.
Well, most of them did. But like I said, when you got to the one in the middle, that's when they had pizza, or they had sub sandwiches, or something like that. So you got to eat and drink all day long, and you didn't have to worry about finding a parking space. You didn't have to worry about directions. It was wonderful. And so we kind of got the hang of the thrift store thing then, because I said, I'd never been to a thrift store before I come down here. And so we got to looking at stuff and realizing that this is nice things. And used to the villages, when they had model homes, they would have a big sale and sell the stuff that was in these model homes. They'd never even been used. They were just for show in these model homes. And so, yeah, there's a lot of good thrifting down here, if you're into that. I mean, I had a couple neighbors that, they would be caught dead in a thrift store, but not me. I love a bargain, and we had a lot of fun in the process. And that's when Deb and I started doing our own thrifting. And we just kind of checked out things as new ones come online. Same way with restaurants. As a new one come online, we'd have to go check it out and tell everybody. And I went to see her last week. And of course, we went to a thrift store down where she lives. And then we had a nice lunch. And so I miss her being here. And there's nobody that can replace her. I had to quit the 2 Forks Up because I just found nobody that really was that accommodating. Is all I can say. We did things like we were sisters, and I love that about it. So, but yeah, the condo owners, they change stuff out all the time. And like I said, people that rent stuff out, a lot of times they rent it out for a little while and then they move into it. So they want to get rid of the stuff they had for the renters and get their own. There's all kinds of different reasons why they have stuff so nice in these thrift stores down here. But it's a good thing to check out. If you've never done that before. I was used to Goodwill, and what's the other thing? Salvation Army, that kind of stuff. And I said, I never went in those. They didn't have per se. They didn't have thrift stores around us. So I was kind of surprised about the quality and how much nice things looked.
Ulrich Vince Carter says KFC's method of cooking has changed overall, so it's not the same. Is that right?
I don't know, but that would make sense. Yeah, and let's see. Amy Theriot says, hi, Gary.
I noticed on Discord somebody made a comment. Wrestler does that a lot. He'll make a comment on Discord about me. He won't put it on here, and then it pops up and goes away so fast I can't read it.
Okay, Em says, hello from Port St. Lucie, headed to freezing Iowa again on Friday. Loving this beautiful weather here, windy today. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of rain, but that doesn't mean everybody is.
Racer Girl says, I've been getting rid of crap for 30 years. Maybe I read that wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's 30 years of crap.
Now, KM said they stopped at Oh Shucks last Friday, and it was so-so this time.
Well, it depends on what you get there.
Yeah, everything changes.
I get simple. It's a burger at the bar kind of place. I know they're known for their oysters. If you're not an oyster eater, I don't know what to tell you to get there. To me, it's just a local. On the way home from working, I stopped at this place and got a burger and a beer on the way home. That's what it reminds me of, and so that's what I get. Burger, fries, and a beer, and I've never been disappointed.
Well, and I was kind of disappointed last time I was there because I used to get the shrimp and scallop plate, and they've separated them. So now you get a shrimp dinner or you get a scallop dinner. They don't have them together anymore. And so I was kind of disappointed in that because I really love scallops, and it's not something you find everywhere.
Does the same lady still own it?
I don't know. I haven't been there.
See, things around here is growing so fast and so much that businesses are here this year. They sell them out to somebody else. Good example of that is the pool people. What's it called? They've been here for years. Matter of fact, the original owner of the pool company was friends with Harold Schwartz forever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, he sold that company to somebody else. The other one is, who was Mann's? Mann's heating and air conditioner. Munn's ain't Munn's anymore. The guy that owned that place, some other company come in, bought them out. I don't know if they still use the name Munn's or not, but they go. So that's why I asked about Oh Shucks. When they say, when I hear things about, it's not really a big deal. Well, do they still own it?
Yeah,
Or did somebody buy them out?
Yeah, we haven't been there in quite a while. We found
I haven't been there.
Johnny's.
I haven't been there since they fixed the roof. That really disappointed me.
That's goofy.
Well, it was kind of unique.
Yeah.
That's how you kill rabbits, by the way.
This Mindy says it can be quiet at Orange Blossom Hills Country Club, especially in the room where the wine rack is. Yeah, and I took the ladies' lunch over there a few times. And I said, right now, it was funny, we went to, for Judy's birthday party, we went to Red Sauce in Lake Sumter, in which I love Italian food, I really do. And that's why we go to Olive Garden so much. But Red Sauce is pretty good. But like I said, we were there at 11:30, and they open at 11. And then the place didn't have very many people there. And it's not because of the food, it's because until when the squares start doing stuff, then everybody comes in. But like I said, last week was, they were having the farmer's market at Spanish Springs and at Brownwood at the same time. So that's where everybody was. Now, once they closed down, then everybody come into the Lake Sumter area. But I always liked Red Sauce and always loved that kind of food. But I was just surprised that it wasn't busier. And they were starting to come in as we was leaving. But
Razor Girl says, I can't wait to be able to put my house up for sale. So apparently she don't live here yet. Mm-hmm. Says, but I'm going to miss my chickens. So bring them with you. You can have them. We don't have no rules against chickens. Oh, Lord. Ask your real estate guy if you can have chickens. It says your dog has to be on a leash, but does your chickens? Well, there's all kinds of pets. I don't know if they're here or not. I bet you'll say they are. You got parrots. I've seen parrots.
Yeah.
I heard that there's a guy down here that's got a monkey, but somebody else told me the guy he's like paralyzed or something, and it's one of them monkeys that does things for him. They treat
like a service animal.
Yeah, like a service animal. Because the reason why I heard that is because somebody at the bar told me that. Said he was in this bar. He says the monkey's the damnedest thing. He said he'd tell a monkey to go down here and and the monkey would go down to. I said, nobody said anything. He said, hell no. He said, we thought it was funny, And usually people complain about so many things down here. Apparently they thought the monkey was okay.
Yeah.
So I just know that there's people here who probably got pet snakes. It's a common thing. I don't know any of them, but I'm just saying I bet there are. Let's face it. If they got a tattooed face, they probably have a snake.
You're so bad.
They probably do. I mean, they're just weird. There was a thing when I was growing up. There was two things about women that you never dated. You never date a woman with a bunch of tattoos, and you never date a woman with a bird. And I asked the guy one time, I said, why is that? He's because they're all nuts.
Well, I mean, everybody has their own thing. My mom would never let me date a guy with the El Camino. Don't know her reasoning. She never told me. She just said, you don't date a guy with an El Camino. I don't know. But
in school, we always looked for a girl to date that smoked. That was the flag.
Oh my.
She smoked when we dated.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're easy.
Really?
I'm not saying any of this is true. I'm just telling you in high school all the things that we did and thought about.
Patricia Zeller says it's now called Ernie's Tavern. Yeah, it did. The big sign behind the bar always said Ernie's Tavern. But like I said, it's and like I said, I think they just recognize it by the name Bloomfield. And like I said, if you look on the top of the building in cement, it's the something meeting house. So that doesn't, that's what it was years and years ago, and they've turned it into this. But yeah, that's what the sign behind the bar says, Ernie's Tavern.
Russell says some franchise owners seem to be less responsible than others nowadays. That might be true, but I always thought that, like on McDonald's or whoever, they had specific rules you had to follow, and they could come in at any time and inspect you at any time. And I know at McDonald's, because I had a friend that bought a franchise many, many years ago, and in that franchise, the money it cost you to have that, if at any time that they didn't agree with what you're doing, they had their sole right to give you your money back and take that restaurant back as a company restaurant, and you're out.
Yeah.
I don't know if, just like hotels, I do know hotels here. We've been at a couple of them where they'll have, like, say, Super 8. That ain't necessarily a Super 8 hotel. That's just them people in there are under the Super 8 rules, and Super 8 handles the computerized stuff for, like, the reservations of the hotel and stuff like that. And that way, these people that come in, all they got to do is get their computer set up, and they go in and see what we got coming today, because they don't do it anymore. And I don't know if I like that idea of doing business, but I know a lot of them. We've had that same problem. I don't like staying at those really cheap hotels. I'm not putting them down. I just don't like doing it because I find that they're a 50-50 shot. You get a good one, okay, and there's a good chance you're going to get a really bad one. And so I just don't like to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, get off that subject before I say something.
Patricia Zeller said that Brookfield, the place there, said the husband is a producer in L.A. Huh? The owner is the husband of a producer in L.A.
Who?
Yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer is the producer.
Oh, you're talking about that restaurant.
Yeah, and I said his, I think
time check.
Okay, his wife's grandmother, I think, was the one that wanted him to preserve that part of town. Brad Shea taking the auto train down to our home in LaBelle North on Monday. Cool. I never took the auto train, but we never lived on the coast, and I know a lot of people that have. A lot of people from Philadelphia and
Hazard,
those areas have took the auto train.
I'll tell you, that place we went through, Hazard, Kentucky, talking about Duke of Hazard. No, it wasn't even that good. These people had couches in the front yard, refrigerators next to the garage, pickup trucks. It looked like they were taking parts off of a bunch of pickup trucks to keep this one over here running. Yeah. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Ed says Tail of the Dragon. Yes, we did the Tail of the Dragon several times.
Yeah, we did that. Tail of the Dragon. And it's kind of cool. I mean,
we got the T-shirts.
We got the picture. We got a picture somewhere.
Yeah.
The company had vans along the Tail of the Dragon where it automatically would take the pictures you came by. And there was a couple of pictures where we were on a deep curve, and we're both leaning, and we're both sitting there like we really know what we're doing. And it looked really good. And I think we ended up printing that picture, but I don't know where it is anymore.
Yeah, they used to have somebody sitting on one of the curves, and as you went down, they took your pictures. So Patricia says, we are now but leaving Monday. Would love to meet you all. I like Skip, for he is a straight shooter. Yes, he's a straight shooter. Sometimes I want to knock him in the head, but yeah, he'll tell you the truth.
One thing I can tell you is 53 years later, look who's got the marks on the eyes. It ain't me.
Yeah, you got blamed for it, though. Everybody that I walked by asked me, did Skip do that? Let's see. Bert Harrington says, hi, guys. And William said, I had a restaurant in Ducktown, just east of the Ocoee. Wow. Okay. I remember Ducktown.
It says that maybe when your mom was younger, maybe the bad boys, or the, what do you want to call them, drove El Caminos.
Oh, that could be. I mean,
I don't know.
She didn't even see Skip coming.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She thought I was a good guy.
Oh,
until I told her I was going to bring Sue to Florida and feed her to the alligators. After that, no.
KM says the daughter is managing Old Shucks now. Big Wawa to come in next door. Yeah, I knew they were putting it somewhere on that corner, but didn't know where. But the daughter's now managing the restaurant. Oh, Shucks.
Really? But the daughter's been there. Well, if it's the same
daughter,
I'm thinking if she's been there a long. Did she have tattoos up her arm?
But mom evidently isn't there anymore, so that may make a difference.
Well, that could be.
Teresa Hilton said red sausage delicious.
I remember what happened to Art's Pizza when Dad was still alive. Then they turned it over to Grandma, and she kept the same family recipe. It was so good. And then the third generation came, and they changed the name from Art's Pizza to Third Generation. But they had respect for the family recipe, and because you could get the original recipe or these other recipes. And I always got the original. God, it was so good.
Yeah.
And then Grandma retired. And then I think she passed away. And when she passed away, all of the third generation restaurants were just shut down. Not sold, just totally shut
And
down.
now I think his brother owns one. But that's
the
it.
brother doesn't have the original recipe.
No. Time to tell you what's going on. I found this in the paper today. The villas at Marbella, which is where they tore down the Hacienda Country Club, they're now for sale. I don't have any idea of price-wise what they are, but they're now up for sale. So it's nearby Cordoba and the Hacienda Recreation, Tierra del Sol, Hacienda Hills Golf Club, Tierra del Sol Country Club, and the Spanish Springs Town Square. And so they had a picture in the paper today of what the villas are going to look like. And so it might be something you might want to check out. It's that, that area of Spanish Springs is a nice area. It's close to town. It's beautiful up there with all the trees and everything. And it's close to everything. It's close to the hospital. It's close to outside shopping like BJ's and Sam's Club and all the other stores, the Bell's Outlet and Belk. So it's a nice area to be in. So, and these, the villas look pretty good. Now this one's showing a 3-car garage. I don't know anything about them, but
I could say something here.
I would go check it out. Anyhow, and this is something I found in the paper the other day, and I had to cut it out. It says construction crews will soon begin interior demolition of the Barnstorm building at Brownwood Paddock Square. So there's no longer any doubt about the movies going back in there. It won't happen.
I said that a long time ago. It's not happening.
Yeah, the work will prepare the building to be leased out to yet to be determined tenant. The building has been vacant since 2020 when the Barnstorm Theater closed during COVID. Since that time, the movie theater industry has been in flux due to the rise of at-home streaming and a decline in new theatrical releases. After showing some signs of bouncing back in 2023, the U.S. box office in 2024 has fallen off by 7%, according to IMDb. That total is about 25% decrease from pre-pandemic totals. So, we know what's going to happen now. They're going to put a restaurant or maybe some retail. I think Brownwood needs some new retail. Also, Twisty Treat, a new ice cream shop, is coming to the villages. Twisty Treat signed a lease with the Village Commercial Property Management to open a location in Pinellas Plaza in the fourth quarter of 2025.
So who's leaving?
There's a couple of places.
What couple of places? The Italian place ain't leaving, is it?
No.
Okay.
The company which has locations across Florida, I'm talking.
Wait a minute. How about the burger place down there? That's one that's been
No, it's still going. It'll probably be either the Reflex store or the salon, I would say.
You mean like a nail salon?
No, hair salon. Be in that area, I'd imagine. Let's see. They have locations in Florida and Texas and opening in the villages for the first time. Their business sells a variety of ice cream flavors as well as slushies, milkshakes, floats, and more. That'd be cool. Like I said, on this end, actually, Scooples and what is the custard place?
Custard place?
Yeah. Oh, we're in Trailwinds.
I have no idea. Never been there.
Oh, yeah, you have. Culver's. That's about the best two places
I've
on this.
Been there.
About this
I know
end.
it's there, but I've never been there.
But you've been to a Culver's before.
I know they sell ice cream, but I didn't know they sell custard.
Yeah, so when I said other than custard and Scooples on this end, you had to go all the way out.
The place I went to get custard was Banana Splits. What's the name of that place up there? The old guy don't have it anymore. Some girl took over.
Ollie's. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Ollie's.
That's
Okay.
where I always went, was Ollie's. Is Ollie's still there?
No, it turned into one of those that we had up north, Ritter's.
Ritter's?
It turned into Ritter's ice cream.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. But anyhow, that's something to cheer about on this end anyhow. So let's see. How much time we got left?
See,
well,
things
already
change. All the time change. Ollie's is gone. Now it's a Ritter's.
The Model Train Show, Christmas show, is December 12th to 14th at 9 to 4 and 10 to 3 on the 15th. And and I said that they'll be at Colony, which is nice to get around. Scooter's Christmas Pajama Bash is December 22nd at Brownwood. That's a lot of fun. You'll want to go see that. Camp Village is open December 18th to 19th and 20th. You have to register with districtgov.org. And the first annual Christmas motorcycle car show is December 14th from 10 to 4. Registration is $10 or an unwrapped gift. All proceeds go to Toys for Tots, and it will be at 9049 US 301, Wildwood, Florida. It used to be, it's the new home of Lucky Cycles. And so that'll be motorcycle and car.
Harley guy used to be next to that Italian restaurant?
Yeah, it's moved to their new building. Lucky Cycles is opening a new building.
Well, who's in the building now?
I don't know who's in the old building. But yeah, that cars and motorcycles. You don't see that very often. So, and I think that's probably it for us right now.
Is that it? We done?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
We'll all see you on the other side.
That's it for another week, gang.
Yeah, and then next week will probably be it for December. Isn't that because Christmas actually is on Wednesday this year. And I assume we're not doing this on Christmas.
I don't know. I don't
We
plan.
may have something interesting for you on Christmas, but
it
won't be us.
I wouldn't bet on that. I haven't said anything about nothing. I don't know nothing.
Yeah, I don't know nothing. That's what. That's the way you get with it.
Thanks, Wrestler and Jerry and all the moderators.
Marsha.
Marsha.
Love y'all.
Yeah, see ya.